Special meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. Today is October 28, 2024, and the time is 1:33. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please be seated. Thank you. All right, so we'll move forward to the administrative agenda. We have two items on the agenda today. Mr. Harner, would you please introduce the first item?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This item is to consider Lee Health Mission Agreement governing conversion to nonprofit status. I'd like to ask Mr. Salyer to present the item.
Commissioners, as you well know, this would be the final step in the process as far as the Board of County Commissioners is concerned. The Lee Health Memorial System Board of Directors, having determined that conversion is in the best interests of Lee County's residents, it's really now up to the county to try to secure safety net services in perpetuity, if you will, and that's what the proposed mission agreement would do. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay. Okay, at this time, the board have any questions for staff at this time? Okay, seeing none, I will call for public comment. I have some cards, so first up will be Steve Maxwell. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Thanks for taking my card. You know, it's hard to get in a kitchen when the cake is already baked and you know what the icing is. And I have to say, having reviewed some of the new aspects to the agreement, I'm very pleased to see that the County Commission will be acting as the oversight agent, which is an important aspect of the covenant agreement, which I've read about. The other thing I have a question, though, about in terms of levying fees to other medical entities, if I could get some clarification on that. I had called the county attorney's office 3 times trying to get information in relationship to the covenant agreements and so forth, and was never provided with a callback. So I was a little concerned about that, so it puts me kind of at a disadvantage with that regard. So just wanted to put that on the record. The other thing is in relationship to the fiscal impacts for the future with the specifically the shortfall that's anticipated through the maturation of this particular covenant agreement. It's starting off at $60 million, and I believe I had the opportunity to listen to one of our county commissioners in the summer intelligently discuss that issue and say, how will we make that up? So I'm assuming that the fees that will be imposed will hopefully catch that money that's falling through, if you will, that needs to be made up, which is a tagging issue. The other thing is what impact will it have on medical physician, high-risk physicians in OBGYN and neuro in terms of sovereign immunity. That has not really been flushed out to my satisfaction as to what adverse impacts that's going to have on patient costs, insurance costs. That was not really discussed thoroughly. As to the anticipatory types of what we would call trap spending that takes place. So as I said at the start, it's hard when the cake's already out of the oven and the icing's already been splattered about. I come from a family that did work for Lee Health for over 35 years, so I did submit to you 100 petitions that were, I'm sure you have seen, and that voiced some concerns about this. And last thing, I know my time is up and I'll get off the diocese, is that we have a situation where I'm pleased to know that hopefully the public will know what's going on behind closed doors, because we're losing the idea of a public hospital. Remember, we were always nonprofit.
All right, sir, I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Up next is Jennifer Higgins.
Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Higgins, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer at Lee Health. I want to thank you, Commissioners, for taking the time and your careful consideration in this important process. Last time I was here, I spoke about the passion my fellow nurses and I have for ensuring the residents of Lee County have a community-focused, not-profit system that can compete and innovate in this ever-changing healthcare market and providing the exceptional care that our patients have come to expect from us. I'm back today with an even larger sea of blue behind me. I'm joined by my fellow nurses, nurse leaders, Lee Health administrators, team members, and volunteers. Together, we're advocating for a strong Lee Health, which we know equals a strong Lee County. We are proud to work for a health system that puts the community first. We care for patients, whether it's through the emergency department, a physician's office, an outpatient clinic, or one of the many access points we have across the county. Our mission includes a commitment to providing preventative care, wellness programs, and cutting-edge treatments throughout the care continuum. We are here to advocate for those patients, guided by our mission to provide compassionate, high-quality care to everyone who walks through our doors, no matter their ability to pay. Commissioners, if it would be okay with you, I would like to ask my nurse colleagues stand up and be counted as enthusiastically supporting your vote to finalize the mission agreement this afternoon. Colleagues? In fact,
All right. Thank you.
In fact, we have many volunteers, some former military, and other Lee Health leaders and team members who are here that could all stand as well and show their support. I'm sure it would be a lot quicker than having each and every one of us speak. My colleagues and I respectfully urge you to vote yes in favor of the post-admission agreement and conversion. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is Donna Clark.
Good afternoon. I'm Donna Clark. I'm chair of the Lee Health Board of Directors. I'm pleased to report that earlier this month, our board voted overwhelmingly in favor of adopting the mission agreement as drafted by the Board of County Commissioners and our board. The mission agreement reinforces our commitment to serving Lee County residents regardless of their ability to pay, and establishes robust oversight to ensure we achieve our mission effectively. I've had the honor and privilege to serve on this board for 10 years, and as an elected member, my primary responsibility, as yours is, to act in the best interest of Lee County and our constituents. I firmly believe that converting to a community-focused nonprofit will significantly benefit the overall welfare of our community, because it will position Lee Health to compete effectively in our growing healthcare market while we continue our critical safety net mission. Our board's decision to support this conversion and the mission agreement was not made lightly. We engaged in thorough discussions, listened to Lee Health leadership, and gathered insights from our constituents through town halls, workshops, hearings, and individual conversations. This comprehensive and collaborative process should reassure you of the careful consideration and broad perspectives that have contributed to this decision. I wholeheartedly believe that a strong Lee Health translates to a strong Lee County. Our board's vote in favor of this mission agreement represents a vote of confidence in the leadership of Lee County and the future of our community. Today, I want to thank you and all of your staff for all of the work that has gone into this process. We should both be proud of that mission agreement. And I would urge all of you to vote in support of this mission agreement. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Up next is Al Rogila. Morning, sir. If I mispronounced that, please correct me.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Al Rogaller. I'm a former district manager of finance for a large company who's very familiar with overregulation. I initially became interested in the conversion back in June of 2023. I had to find out, so in August of 2023, since that time, I've attended every board meeting, every finance meeting, and every special board meeting except for the last two. I've attended a town hall and 2 public forums. I've engaged in conversation with the seven of the 12 chiefs at Lee Health. They're very courteous and accommodated me, answered my questions in a very concise way. I listened to the presentations of the experts at these meetings. I listened to hundreds of questions from the board of directors, senior leadership, attorneys, and along with the answers. That attendance makes me kind of unique, or I need a life, not sure which one. We're here today for one reason. There's only one question. Is this conversion by Lee Health in the best interest of the residents of Lee County? Since 2017, Lee Health has invested or committed to invest $1.2 billion for 4 projects. Golisano Hospital was built, the addition to Gulf Coast Medical Center, Coconut Point, and the current Challenger project. Plus, Lee Health spends about $125, $150 million on charity care every year. Has that been beneficial to the residents of Lee County? Of course it has. And as we know, the competition to care for the uninsured is not exactly ferocious. You have 2 choices today. You can swing and miss with a no vote, or you can hit an inside the park grand slam home run by voting yes. I think one of you has experienced that thrill back on September 1st of 1990 against the New York Yankees. So please, for me,
Continue, please.
so please, for me, for you, for for the residents of Lee County, please vote yes for the conversion today and allow Lee Health to be the best they can be. They're excellent at what they do.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
appreciate it. All right, I just got to go ahead and say it. We try to do this with a certain amount of quorum, so I know this, everyone wants to celebrate. We haven't voted yet, so let's don't celebrate. Let's run it like a regular meeting and not cheer, not hiss, not make anyone feel uncomfortable if someone does come up and disagree, okay? We hate to run meetings that way, but they have to be run that way. We obviously want to make sure we have decorum. So up next will be Joe Caddy. Caddy? I'm sorry, Caddy? Yes, sir?
Good afternoon. I had the opportunity to be at the World Series game tonight, but opted to be here. So good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Joe Caddy. I'm the Chairman and CEO of Fimark National Bank and Trust. I'm here today to ask for your support to help Lee Health make a transition from a government health system to a community-focused nonprofit. I've been deeply involved in this community and with Lee Health for over 25 years, and I have known the management team extremely well. I have the utmost confidence in their ability to make sound decisions that benefit the people of Lee County. While you're hearing from numerous healthcare professionals today, my experience, as you know, is in business and finance. I believe from a business perspective, the proposed conversion of Lee Health is advantageous to our residents. It will allow Lee Health to expand the services and specialties currently offered in our community. In turn, this will strengthen our local economy as more exceptional physicians and nurses are recruited in the county. As chair of Lee Health's Foundation Board, I've been involved in this process closely and have seen firsthand the effort and attention by Lee Health's Board of Directors and leadership team to ensure this is the best decision for everyone. I've been equally impressed with your thoughtfulness and diligence to make certain that with this decision, the residents of Lee County will receive the quality level of health care that they deserve. The mission agreement developed mutually between Lee County and Lee Health earlier this year provides a solid foundation for the future of Lee Health. It lays the groundwork for the health system to provide excellent care to our community for generations to come. And it makes Lee Health accountable for delivering what its leaders have promised. As Lee County continues to evolve and grow, Lee Health must do the same. This is the next step. I respectfully ask that you vote to accept the mission agreement as proposed, just as the Lee Health Board did on October 7th, and move to finalize the agreement. I appreciate your dedication over the past few months to get us here today, and I appreciate your thoughtful consideration on the vote before you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Up next will be Pastor William Glover.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Pastor William Glover. I am here on behalf of the members of my congregation, Mount Hermon Church, and as a member of the 16 Congregation Greater Community Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance. It's good to be before you once again. The last time I was before you, I spoke about the thoughtful outreach that Lee Health conducted in my community and the time they took to listen to our questions and concerns and provide answers about the potential impacts of the conversion. They have continued to keep me and my fellow clergy up to date with this process. And so I stand here today with an even greater conviction about the conversion, that it is the best path forward to protect the critical health care concerns of my congregation, the communities we represent, and Greater Lee County. I have reviewed the mission agreement you are voting on today, and I am confident that it includes the necessary assurances that Lee Health will continue to provide the vital health care for all the most vulnerable amongst us, regardless of ability to pay. And we have this commitment in writing. We want to see Lee Health thrive as a community partner, and conversion would allow the health system to enhance its ability to partner with schools, housing departments, veteran services, and more. All organizations that are near and dear to the mission of our congregation and our alliance. Time and time again, Lee Health has proven to be a strong community partner. As our community was hit first by Hurricane Helene and then by Hurricane Milton, Lee Health kept their doors open to assure that everyone in need of medical attention received it. Vital medical services, not just the medical care, emergency care, continued during the worst of the storms. That unwavering support is what true safety net care looks like and is the mission driving Lee Health. I am confident that with the mission agreement in place, Lee Health will uphold their commitment and seek new ways to improve health care across our region. I look forward to the continued partnership with Lee Health as they provide essential services to meet the needs of our community. I sincerely hope your vote today is in favor of accepting the mission agreement. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Up next will be Dr. Larry Antonucci.
Morning, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Larry Antonucci, and I'm President and CEO of Lee Health. I want to begin by thanking the Board of County Commissioners for the incredible amount of work that they've done in collaboration with us, for their time, their partnership, working with us to form this mission agreement. I particularly want to thank you for your input. What you have contributed to this mission agreement has made it better than we ever imagined, and we're confident it would lead us to take care of our residents of Lee County regardless of their ability to pay, and to ensure that we fulfill the mission with accountability and integrity. Our shared dedication to caring for this community has been and continues to be the driving force of this process. We've always been more than just a healthcare system. We are the safety net for this community. Our responsibility isn't just to be here when times are easy, but rather to serve when there's a crisis. Recently, our community was hit hard by Hurricanes Helene and Milton, and we provided continuous medical care and storm preparedness to protect the health and safety of Lee County residents, because that's who we are. And our work doesn't stop when the storm waters recede. We show up for this community when and where they need us most, and our mission to serve all residents, regardless of their ability to pay, and especially the most vulnerable. As CEO, my responsibilities aren't just to lead the system, but to secure its future. And today, I am more confident than ever that the proposed conversion to a community-focused nonprofit will only strengthen that commitment and further our mission to be a trusted partner, empowering healthier lives through care and compassion. Now is the right time to embrace a new structure that will allow us to do exactly that, strengthen our position, and secure our future. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Up next will be Dr. Ian Gusenhauser. You're going to correct that? I appreciate it.
I've heard them all by now. So
I know, right?
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you at this critically important moment. My name is Dr. Ian Gusenhauser. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of the Lee Health System. The last time I was here, I spoke to you about the important services and service lines that Lee Health is committed to maintaining in the mission agreement that we've worked on together, and the opportunities that conversion would provide to advance our mission to secure those services over the next 100 years. Today, I'd like to specifically focus on our physician community. To ensure that our medical staff understands and has understood what conversion means, why it's important for our community, we've held large physician and medical staff town halls. We've met with our employed physicians, and we've held separate meetings with physician groups across the system. I'm pleased to announce that that time and effort spent to engage our physicians and answer their questions about the benefits and challenges of conversion have led to exactly what we expected it would. We've secured the signature of 99% and counting of the physicians that we employ within the Lee Health System, and they have agreed that this is in the best interests of the system, and as such have agreed to join our new private entity, the Lee Health System Incorporated. This is a true vote of confidence in this process. It comes directly from our physicians in the most tangible way, their pen to paper. Together, we're excited about the future of our health system, which will allow us to further strengthen and advance our mission of providing exceptional care to those who need it most. As physicians, we feel privileged to serve our communities and remain committed to delivering the highest quality of care, regardless of a patient's ability to pay. This transition is not just a change in structure, but a transformative opportunity for us. It allows us to be more agile, more innovative, and responsive to the needs of our patients, especially those who rely on us as their safety net. I thank you for your time today. I hope for your vote today in favor of accepting this mission agreement and aligning in the nearly 1,000 physicians who have signed their new contracts. This unspoken commitment to our community is now a spoken one, loudly and clearly in our mission agreement. What it means to be a community safety net has been defined, and most importantly, a promise has been made by the Lee Health System and the combined efforts with you, our county commissioners, that this safety net will remain in place, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for generations to come. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That concludes the cards. I will ask if does anyone else wish to speak on this item at this time. Okay, seeing none, I will close public comment. We'll bring it back to the board for discussion.
Chairman, I'll make a motion for approval.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Hammond and a second from Commissioner Sandelli. Do we have further discussion? No further discussion? Any objections? No objections? Passed unanimously, 5-0. Okay. Administrative agenda item, Mr. Harner, please introduce the next item, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is to adopt the resolution approving IDA reissuance of Lee Health bonds. I'd like to ask Mr. Talmadge to present the item.
John Talmadge for the record. On September 5th of this year, the IDA recommended approval of a resolution granting preliminary approval to the substitution for LMHS, Lee Memorial Health Systems, as issuer of the outstanding debt. The IDA is requesting at this time approval from the Board of County Commissioners the reissuance of the assigned indebtedness in an amount not to exceed $850 million. And that no way does this put a liability on the county or the IDA or the state of Florida. In addition, the Lee Health has committed to a provision that will prohibit them from seeking additional revenue funds through government bodies in the future. And Robbie Ropestorff, the chair of the IDA, and Tom Hart, of counsel of the IDA, are both here if you have questions.
Okay, Commissioners, any questions or comments at this time? Okay, seeing none, I will ask for public comment. Does anyone wish to speak on this item at this time? Okay, seeing none, I will close public comment. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand in the back. Come on up.
Steve Maxwell.
Steve Maxwell.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Steve Maxwell for the record. Just a clarification in terms of the bond and indebtedness. Could that figure be, was it 850 million? Is that correct? And where do we look at in terms of the future, in terms of the indebtedness? What is the time period?
Unfortunately, it's a situation where we can't, it's not ask the, board questions at this point. It's really
okay, so
a comment.
it's somewhat fluid, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Steve. Anyone else wants to speak on this item? Saying none, I will close public comment. It is my understanding the IDA will get a $750,000 fee. This I would like to ask my colleagues, is there a consensus to work with the IDA to deploy this windfall on an economic development project with the Board of County Commissioners? Is that something we would be willing to discuss at this time?
Chairman, yeah, if I may.
Yes,
thank
please.
you. Yeah, Chairman, I think it's a great idea, absolutely. Obviously, the IDA does, flow up to the Board of County Commissioners. I think it'd be a very appropriate thing to maybe not make a decision today, but certainly open that up for future consideration, what to do with that money to help support the community and figure out, have staff report back to us on what our options are with it, yeah.
I'd like to hear their committees and their legal staff's opinion of that also, and how they would manage that over the next few years.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, right? Any further discussion on it? I just thought one of the things that, made some sense to me, obviously, is we're wanting to try to get some funds to do that Civic Center study on what we might be doing in the future, and that might be one of the avenues that we could look at in the future as part of maybe one of the items. Okay. So at this time, do we have a motion?
Would the motion have to include that new language for the direction for the IDA?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I move the item as it is with the addition of the IDA and their staff would come back with recommendations to access the money.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
A second. All right. We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Pendergrass. We have a second, Commissioner Hammond. Any further discussion?
Real quick, Chairman,
Yes,
just because it looks like this is the last vote we'll take today before we adjourn, so just wanted to real quickly say thanks for working with us through this process. I wanted to share my admiration for the community outreach process that they went through at Lee Health, and for the way that they took the time to educate the community. And I love to see so many folks come today and talk about how they'd been to the meetings and the things they'd learned over the meetings. And in the end, you know, the Board of County Commissioners is trying to help position our county and help position our health system for this growing county that we have. We know the population's changed rapidly over the last several years, and it's going to continue to grow over the next few years. And this is about making sure that our community is going to be served well as we continue to grow and move forward. So thank you, everybody, for being part of the process.
I would say this, almost the same thing, Commissioner Hammond, thank you for bringing it up. But yes, thank you to all the staff that's here today, and thank you to our staff, the Lee Health staff, the last 3 years has worked through this process. It's been a really long process, and I know people don't like change. We're going through a lot of growing pains here, and this change is hopefully it's going to be positive for the system. One of the most important things in our community is our health care. We share that every day, and thank you for Lee Health for stepping up and making this decision.
Thank you. Mr. Sandell?
This has probably been one of the most interesting learning experiences for myself about the community in this industry. I looked at it really in 3 ways. I looked at the hospitals that were already private and delved into some of that, and fortunately came down from Tampa, and I saw Tampa General, which had a great reputation. The second thing was we have a number of doctors in our family, and I talked to them extensively about pros and cons and so on and so forth, and it was fascinating. And the third thing is that it led me to understand that the competitive environment that Lee Health is in, and that we have to be competitive going forward so that we can do things that we want to do. So I want to thank everybody for the work. I certainly learned more from all of you than I could possibly have offered to you, and thank you.
Mr.
Want to echo what you all said. I appreciate Lee Health being as transparent as you are. I certainly asked a few more financial questions than normal. This is about as abnormal as you do something when you do a merge in government. We didn't have the opportunity to do nearly the due diligence. That's not to say it wasn't a good idea, but it was just limited. In most of the mergers and acquisitions I'm involved in, you go out and hire a separate team, you do whatever. I appreciate staff obviously working with me, and certainly county commissioner trying to get the information necessary. But I look forward to this community being served well, and good luck.
And I'd like to add, I think it's been obviously a great partnership for a long, long time, and I think everyone in Lee County, and especially this board, would like it to continue to be a great partnership from this point on. So thank you very much. I have a motion to approve from Commissioner Pendergrass, a second from Commissioner Hammond. Do we have any objections? No objections. Passes unanimous. If there's no further business in front of us, we are adjourned.